Happy New Year. Good morning. My name is Morganon, and I bid you all welcome back to Risen. So after yesterday, it was another case of basically me just kind of speedrunning the game. Not really speedrunning, but not really doing what the whole intent of this was meant to be. Good morning, Vanna. How are you? Happy New Year. So I kind of backtracked a bit. I didn't delete the save or anything that we had last time. This doesn't actually matter because I'm about to reload anyway. Basically, I'm just retesting some things, taking notes of what alternative stuff happens. Now, most importantly... Happy New Year, Victor. Most importantly... Hang on. There it is. Okay. Yeah, the YouTube chat shows up way later on the stream than the Twitch chat does. The one thing I haven't gotten to test yet, we're going to end up backtracking quite a bit, is doing just a little beer delivery quest for Rachel. Happy New Year, Philip. Because basically you can either try and be generous with somebody else's product, or you can try and take extra money and keep it for yourself. Unfortunately, I don't really have a save that was just prior to that. Happy New Year, Victory. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I'll just call you Vic. Happy New Year. Oh, Sonic. Ignoring... Hey. No, I'm ignoring you.
Apart I'd hang on. Although but
How is everyone doing this morning? I hope you're all in good health. We're just kind of gonna walk through here and ignore everybody, because all I want to do is test this one bit, and then we're gonna reload to where we're just about to walk in and talk to the Dong. I mean the Don. Yes, it's Risen. Seemed like the only logical step after finishing the Gothic 2 walkthrough. Let's start one for this, because I am not doing another one for Gothic 3. Not a chance in hell. But in order to facilitate that walkthrough, I kind of got to refamiliarize myself with this game and learn some things I never really... or test some things I never really tested before.
protect. Is this?
It's me. Then I.
Hello, other Philip. There's two Philips on YouTube. How are you? Happy New Year.
Is your
There with bar which I don't. Because you need.
fate?
You never know when you'll need them. I need 50 gold coins for them.
All right.
Of course. And don't forget.
50.
Okay, so here's the thing. He doesn't pay us for doing this. But I have no idea what favor we can collect from him. And testing that now would be a bit of an ordeal. I don't think he pays us anyway. My day has not been eventful. I woke up, had coffee, and now I'm playing this. So here's the test.
Wafer. What? Sorry. You.
Noted. But
No, I'm all.
You.
Unless I don't like. Oh, you're back, are you?
I have beer for you.
Perfect. The ink we used and with
Why do you...
it.
Oh my god, why we gotta go through all this just to drop it off?
But so
Who do you...
he'd be.
So...
And what do you lay?
You-
He the oh. You do well. Go to the camp. Maybe.
Alright, there we go. So,
The swamp...
Ah.
we have a few options. We can hand it over. We can demand more money. Or we can get exactly what he asked for it. Let's try this, because I get the feeling she's gonna call her bluff.
Robar told me to collect 100 gold coins for the beer.
100? Has he made this batch with diamonds or something? Robar's an honest man. He wouldn't hike his prices that much. Are you trying to pull a fast one on me?
He asked for 100, or I was to take the beer back with me.
I don't know what Robar's thinking. But beer buys contentment among the men. Here. But I'd better not find out you lied to me.
My feet are
Well, again, it's gonna be hard to determine if we lied to her. I might have to redo all this bit just to see if there's layers to it. It's 200 XP for doing that. I don't think it's gonna be any different if we do it properly. Yeah, well, it's not something I generally do these days. I only really game on the weekends when I'm streaming. Also, once again, since I am streaming this to both YouTube and Twitch... Oh, hang on. I just did the autosave. I will be responding to both. Which is why both show up on screen at the same time. So if you are on one or the other and you hear me respond to something you don't see in your own chat, then just check the screen. Honestly, the main reason to stream to YouTube at the same time is to, I don't plan on
Hey, asshole!
Excuse you! That is not how you ring in the new year, Orbaron. Happy New Year, Vaj. What was I saying? Yeah, it's just an excuse to not, because I don't plan on making videos out of this, but at least they'll be preserved on YouTube without me having to make any effort.
Oh,
We do the normal amount,
Robar...
that's pricey.
same amount
Here you go.
of XP. For some reason, the quick load button just reloads the most recent save, and not the quick save slot. Never noticed that before. Or, you know, I probably did. It was just, never thought about it.
Ah,
Here, take the beer.
great. Hope Robar's doing okay out there. He's a decent man. Hard.
No change in XP. Interesting. I'm gonna redo the 100 gold one more time. Go back to Robar. See what the XP difference is for doing it either way. Because I did test it earlier. If you don't give him any money and say that Rachel didn't pay, he believes you, but it just kind of ends the quest without any closure. Son of a gun. Keep doing it. Yeah, to be honest, the alternative choices in this entire sequence of the, you know, opening of Don's camp, there's no real difference in doing anything. So you kind of might as well stick with whatever, whatever gets you the most money. With the exception of just not paying Robart.
Ah. Robar.
He...
I don't. Here.
What do you think about the Gothic 1 remake? Oh, I had opinions on the demo. You can either watch like a 7-hour disastrous live stream I did back when the demo came out, or my, I think, like 45-minute or so critique. Suffice to say, they haven't really shown much since then, so I don't really have any new opinions on it. Main Monastery factions too? Yes. I'm going to get to a point where the game kind of branches off, and then I'm going to try both ways of getting into the monastery. Not that it really changes much, just that if you get forcefully recruited to the monastery, you don't have the choice of becoming a mage. You can only become an Inquisition soldier. It's honestly a shocking kind of punishment for the player. I mean, you can reload just to avoid it, but imagine being a first-time player. You walk too close to the Inquisition, they beat you over the head and take you to the monastery, and at that point you have no choice of faction anymore. It's made for you. And it sets the scene really well, sets the setting, but is kind of a nasty trick to play on a new player.
I delivered your bill.
Yeah?
Okay, so I know if you say she didn't pay, you get no XP.
Yes, here it is.
That's I won't forget.
And you get 100 XP for delivering it. Alright, I shall... you tell me, Vanna. You probably know this game a bit better than I do. I don't know of any circumstance where you can escape the monastery, but I've never actually done the full sequence. Let's see. Give the 50 gold, you get 100 XP. So for the record, I'm taking notes. Because that's not something I did for my Gothic 2 walkthrough very well, and I think it suffered for it. Yeah, like as far as I understand, that becomes your faction. You don't have a choice at that point. Uh-oh, I think I crashed the game. We're gonna test it that way, Val. Might as well find out. I get the feeling that whole bit is skipped. Here's the problem. This game doesn't like being alt-tabbed, but, perhaps, is there an option for windowed? If I go into the config files, I might solve my woes. Full screen. False. It's probably going to be bordered windowed. But I have a borderless window thingamajig that might fix it. Well, we can test it. We can always just try and see what that does, because that might break the game. Don't learn sneak, just use ring with sneak skill? Well, yeah, you can do that. If you don't mind swapping rings every time you need to sneak around. This game takes forever to launch. Is it launching at all? There it goes. Oh, great. The standard Windows cursors hangs out over the in-game cursor. Borderless gaming. Let's see if this works. What is that? Huh. That's very strange. In this borderless gaming app, the the Risen app shows up for some reason with a bunch of Asian characters and the name Risen spelled backwards. That's very weird. Let's see if this works. It works, but the fucking cursor stays on. I think I saw an option to not have that happen. Capture cursor. False. See if that works. Apologize for these streams being a bit weird. But that's going to be the nature of it. This is kind of a wanton science and experimentation sort of stream. We're getting there. Okay, that did not seem to solve the problem. Perhaps windowed mode is not ideal. You can't see it because OBS doesn't capture the mouse cursor, but a regular desktop Windows cursor is showing up over the game. And for some reason, the loading screen is frozen on my screen, but it's showing up on the stream. Alright, that is... Okay, that's an even worse problem than I thought, because that goes right off the screen. Alright, so windowed mode is basically not an option. I have to be cautious about alt-tabbing. Sorry, this is the last relaunch, I assure you. There we go. So I guess we got everything we needed to see out of that, did we? I guess not. Because I wanted to go back and see if she whines about the fact that we lied to her. I get the feeling she won't, because it never seems... None of these have a negative outcome for doing the quest wrong. Or, like, fleecing anybody. Because, like, I did the bit with Brogar again, where you give him the protection money, and you get the XP reward for turning the quest in. No additional XP reward for actually handing him the money. Oh god, I got jittery jumps. I'm so spoiled on so many games that have sprint buttons nowadays. I keep reflexively trying to hold shift to sprint, but that just make them walk.
I deliver.
Yeah?
Yes, here.
I won't.
Yes, it has a sprint spell, but not a sprint button, because it has no stamina meter. And again, Risen 2 and 3 didn't have one either. It just had a invisible timer for your sprints. And a really obnoxious breathing sound when you ran out of steam. Do you whine? No. Alright, so nothing changes. We are going to load this one. Yeah, well, to be honest, I'm kind of over the whole stamina thing in combat, at least. I'm not really sure how I feel about the sprinting thing.
Hey,
Hey, what? You better be from Hawkins. I need those crates moving.
Those crates are moving.
I've just arrived here. I'm not from anyone.
Lazy, more like. Bet you never done a decent day's work in your life.
Wow, Beepus, settle down.
What crates?
The ones full of artifacts? What else are we moving? Damn Hawkins. His workers should have delivered them by now. I knew it was too much responsibility for the old coot.
That old coot.
So you're in charge of moving boxes, right?
They're not just any old boxes. They're full of artifacts from the excavation sites. They get dug up, they come to me, and then they go to the Don.
Oh, so you're not even moving boxes for yourself, then?
When you get an important role here, then you can make jokes. Until then, shut your bleeding mouth.
It's so cranky.
What's in these artifact crates?
Puppies. Artifacts, what do you think, genius? Everything that's dug up from the ruins gets crated up. But keep your mitts off them. If you're looking for gold, then do some work. You dig for the Don, then you'll get your share.
I'll think about it.
Well, seeing as I'm doing the work digging up the stuff, I think it's mine by rights.
Let's talk sensibly. I could help you get your crates.
Yes.
Think you can? All right. We'll get going and get them moving.
I
No
already
sense in
done.
asking if you know the magic word.
What magic word? Here, you're not with that Inquisition lot, are you? Look, I'll have no magical nonsense around here.
Well, not to mention, they're not digging in any ruins out here. They're digging in the mud. So, that doesn't make sense. Sorry, I'm moving Task Manager. It's blocking my dashboard. I also don't know why there's like a... Sometimes when you tap back into the game and close the menu, the big burst of bloom that shows up on the screen for some reason.
I sorted out your crate delivery problem.
Really?
So this, you complete by getting Dwight
Good to
to
see
go back
someone's
to work.
applying themselves. Tell you the truth, I ain't sure why the Don wants all this gold. Ain't like there's much to spend it on in a swamp.
Not that I've seen.
Anyway, you've put me in a generous mood. Here's a little advance on your share.
See, he can be sociable.
She smiled at me. Teeth and everything.
Stop where you are. You ain't going another step closer to the Don.
Guarding. Guess that's a really important job.
Most important in the camp. I make sure people don't just stroll in to see the Don. He's very against strolling in. And I'm not pissing Rachel off or I won't get any grub. So, move along.
What a terrible beard you have.
Rachel says I can talk to the Don.
Really? And I'm just supposed to believe you, eh?
Shall I bring her here? I'm sure she'd be delighted to know her orders aren't being followed.
Yeah, all right. I get the
This is such a
picture.
common trope in these
Go in.
games where, like, somebody questions you out of, you know, an abundance of caution. But when you say, oh, do you want me to go bring the boss who said I can do this? And they always buy it, hook, line, and sinker. Which means we could have lied, but the game obviously doesn't offer that as an option.
I've heard that too.
This lady's always just confused me that she's just there. Like, nobody's watching her, but she's still dancing. And I'm
Is it
sure
your
Rachel
habit
is
to walk
thrilled
into
at
places
the
unannounced?
entertainment her husband
Why?
has while she's outside.
A castaway. I've come to offer you my services.
A castaway. I need true men. Lucky men. You saw your ship wrecked beneath you. Do you see that as luck?
When all but one other died and I lived, I call that luck.
Well, I suppose we're all castaways on this island. Castaway by life, now castaway by those stones. I'll give you a chance, castaway. Prove your luck to me.
So if you don't know, the Dong here is voiced by... what's his name? John Rhys Davies. I almost said Rhys Darby, but that's a different guy. John Rhys Davies, who probably best known as Gimli from Lord of the Rings, but also that character whose name I forgot from Indiana Jones.
I have brought you the sword you were searching for.
This is Oscar's work. I can see that right away. We've both sought this sword since we heard of it. Now here it is in my hands. Here, you deserve a little gold for bringing this to me. Pride gets eaten alive in this damn swamp. It gets swallowed by anger, poisoned by idleness. Sometimes I think Fincher is the only man jack of them left with any self-worth. And Fincher told me that you have pride.
We've never spoken with this Fincher man, so I don't know how he got our measure so easily.
So I shall give you a chance to prove yourself, castaway.
And that is true, Val. I never knew that until years after playing this game. When I first went onto World of Gothic and those forums, I thought Don Esteban, the user, was named after the character. Turns out it was the other way around. This is a deliberate reference to one of Piranha Bytes' oldest fans, basically. Which means he's basically a fourth wall-breaking Easter egg.
I'd like to know more about what's happening here. Why are you and your men in this swamp?
The Inquisitor has his claws stuck deep into the flesh of this island. A firm grip on the harbor town and the monastery. Well, that's what he thinks. And that's what others see. The Inquisition's numbers growing. Men dragged into his service. What I see is a man making enemies. A man wasting his strength against the creatures in the ruins. So we wait here. The spider in the corner of the web, and we bide our time.
Honestly, we were buffering. I remember seeing that, and I thought he was like, he actually sounded pretty enthusiastic about it, but he kind of saw it as a competition between him and Andy Serkis, who voices Inquisitor Mendoza that we're going to see later. He seemed to like his character, but yeah, he obviously didn't really follow the plot of the game that well. I think he performed it pretty well. He's probably the best actor in the game next to Mendoza.
What is the Inquisitor looking for in the temple ruins?
The White Robes take everything they discover to the monastery. And there the mages are working to unlock some secret. This much I do know. So far, they've avoided this temple. But for how much longer?
Cool, Steve. I literally just said that's who it is. It's John Rhys Davies. Same actor as Gimli.
Do the White Robes attack you and your men?
Right now, they're avoiding open war. But if they don't find what they're searching for elsewhere, I'm sure we can expect their eyes to turn to us.
What was it like before the Inquisitor was here?
Corrupt as any land ruled from the mainland. Governor after governor bleeding the people.
Okay, so I guess we do get some
When their
background.
men, the garrison, were withdrawn to the mainland, we were ready. I took control. In the name of the people. The brothels were clean, the prices fair. Men had dignity. pride. Then the earth shook, the temple ruins rose, and the Inquisition and all their ways came after them. Why here? Of all the places they could have gone, why did they come here? The Inquisitor is hiding something from us, but I shall find his secret. And in the meantime, I shall strip as much as I can from those ruins. With gold. With gold, you can fight power.
What do you plan to do?
I want my town back. It is our town. It belongs to the people of this island, not the mainland. For that reason, I left some of my men there when we withdrew, gathering intelligence, frustrating the plans of the Inquisition. They were supposed to be sending me information, but I've heard little recently. These aren't times when plans run smoothly.
How can I help you?
Find out what is happening in Harbour Town. Find my men. I have no idea if my men are alive, in prison, dead, or worse, if they have defected. Go there. Discover the truth for me.
Happy New Year, Beeper Bugs. Yeah. I didn't realize there was actually that... Again, I haven't played this in years, so I never recalled that the Don actually basically took over the city from the who was governing it. Well, that's just a classic fallacy, Val. I mean, Brogar isn't his captain. I thought Fincher was his captain. Brogar was just the boss of the fighters. But yeah, so I guess it's not really elaborated on, but were governors, or a governor at least, in service to the kingdom. When their garrison got pulled for some reason or another, I guess it was to fight the Titans. Don seized his opportunity and overthrew them. So, his rule here is semi-recent and not very legitimate. I always kind of had the memory that he had a more legitimate claim to this island than he actually does.
What are the names of your men in Harbour Town?
No, I don't trust you well enough for that. Go to the town and find them. And if you don't, and you are captured, without names, there is still a chance they can stay free. I won't put my men in danger.
How do I get into Harbour Town without being seen by the Inquisition?
The town's rear gate is guarded by the Old Town Watch. They are men without a master, and their loyalty can be bought with a little gold.
When everyone is corrupt, in gold you trust. I am willing to go to the town for you.
Good. Go and find if my people are still loyal. One more thing.
Yes.
The Inquisitor. Gather all the information you can about him. Here in this hole, I am deaf and blind. I have to know what that fanatic is planning. For my people. For my island.
I don't think that's the case. I get the feeling he was, in fact, he's called the Don, which implies like a mafioso sort of type. So he probably was just the leader of an organized crime ring in the town, on the island. And decided instead of basically, acting underneath the law, he would become the law. Yeah, I never really understood the insistence on secrecy when his men are not only blatantly obvious, but like all of the Inquisition members you talk to, in every case where you can either do something for the Don or do something for the Inquisition, they all basically know who the Don's men are, but aren't doing anything about it.
If I'm to serve, I'll need better armor.
Favors are earned. Prove your value and favor will follow.
Oh, really? I never knew that was a title in Spain. Good to know.
What can I do for you? Perhaps some healing?
In fact, I will take a note of that. Might as well. Zorro? No. I mean, not in any conscious memory. I think I watched it when I was like 6 years old. One or another Zorro movie.
What can you offer for healing?
Ah, I have potions to ease your wounds. I'm well versed in the art of alchemy and prepare all potions myself.
Could you teach me something about alchemy?
That depends. Are you ready to learn? Is your mind open to the knowledge? Am I ready to teach you? Yes, I think I am.
Just ask a bunch of questions.
This is not a discipline to be
answer
taken
them yourself.
lightly. I shall guide you, but you must beware.
I think he is. Yeah, we can ask
You're a
him.
mage, and you serve the Don.
Someone has to take care of the boys here. It falls to me to do so. It's an honor, and it allows me to do what I need to. The boys here are a little exuberant, but we have an arrangement. I heal them, and they leave me to carry out my studies in peace.
You study?
Certainly. There is much to discover here. Like, for example, the magic barrier in the lower vaults.
What magic barrier?
They were clever, the builders of this place. They did not rely on just iron and stone to keep people out. They knew the power of magic, too. If you ever venture deeper into the temple, you'll find that out. And this isn't the only place on the island they protected with magic.
I always hated that point behind them animation they do in dialogues when they're supposed to be gesturing at something. Because unless you're facing in exactly the right position, they never point in the right direction.
What can you tell me about the monastery?
It was a place of reflection and study, a place of meditation. Now, though, it is little more than a brutal training ground for the Inquisitor. Where once silence and thought reigned, now there is the sound of quarterstaffs clashing as the Order's warriors practice. But there are those there who remain studious, who keep the Order's knowledge.
Is there anyone there who will share this knowledge?
You could try Master Illuma. He teaches scroll making. Simple magic it may be, but it would be a good idea not to underestimate the power of scrolls.
Thank you. I will talk to him if I see him.
I would. You won't regret it.
I mean, he seems to gloss over the fact that there's no way to get into the monastery without being recruited. Ursagor is human? I mean, he's never really said to be. They're ambiguous on what a Titan Lord is. But yeah, he's never stated to be human. They act like Titan Lords are a whole separate species from humans. But obviously he's got human dimensions because we can wear his armor, even though in Risen 3 he's suddenly like 20 feet tall. Anyway, I will be right back. Pardon. Okay, so he just talks about alchemy, mostly. I don't think that's important enough for us to dwell on. So, all the Don wants from us is for us to go into the town, figure out what his men are up to. We head down this way. See that magic barrier that, what's-his-nuts was mentioning. But there's a ghoul in the way, so we cannot. Thought there was a magic plant. Guess I'm seeing things. There's also this big heap of gold, and we can't... I guess we can touch it. What happens if we touch it? Yoink! Huh. Yoink?
You should not.
Ghouls? Good question. I would say ash beasts are the equivalent of shadow beasts. Ghouls... I guess they don't really have an equivalent. That's interesting. They didn't really see me pick that up. Huh. They have to be looking straight at you to notice. That's kind of wild. Look how we're picking up single gold coins out of this massive pile. Jeez, I can't believe I'm getting away with this. Big money.
Do not touch what is not yours.
I guess ash beasts could be a troll. I was thinking the ogres were like trolls, but I guess they have weapons, so...
That's a lot of gold you have there.
It is from the ruins. The Don's men gather it like bees. I am the bee's sting.
You're a very fat sting.
How did an ogre wind up guarding
yeah,
gold
you're
for
right.
an outlaw?
Don Esteban saved my life. Now I owe him that life. I, Caracos, work for Don Esteban and for my honor.
Yes, Val. We all know. I guess even though lizard men showed up in Gothic 2, I thought of the lizard men in this game as being the orcs because if we're treating this like Gothic 1, they're a late, like, kind of a late game melee, like, weapon-wielding enemy. I don't know. It's like, that's the way it rationalized in my head. So I thought of ogres as more equivalent to trolls.
The Don must trust you to lead.
I guess since some ogres are friendly,
Don Esteban says,
and some orcs are
there is
friendly,
no one better
then
than
that
Caracos.
rationalizes as well.
Honor is what matters to me.
Not everything is
Gold
one-to-one,
does not
is
bring
my
honor,
point.
Only greed.
So he talks about how gold encourages greed, and that he's only concerned with honor, and yet he's defending a massive pile of gold for a man he thinks is honor, but the man is only interested in gold. I think you got your priorities mixed up
Looks
here.
like the Don couldn't have found a better guard.
Some
Yes,
people
Val,
have
yes.
tested Caracos. None have passed.
I can believe that.
The disloyal find death. The loyal I train to defend Don Esteban.
You train the men here.
Don Esteban needs strong arms and sharp axes.
So he will just straight up teach you. Who voices the ogres? Because they seem familiar, but I cannot think of a single character, a single other character that sounds familiar. Draconians, yeah, they're only called lizard men.
So, the Don's giving you a chance.
The Dawn.
Yes.
Lucky you.
Lucky me.
I know what it looks like, him skulking in that temple. Let me give you some advice. Don't underestimate him. He's just waiting for the right time. This island is the Don's, and he's going to take it back.
What do you do for the Don?
I take care of things for him. Keep an eye on people. Right now, that mostly means the Inquisition, these white robes. These excavation sites are on our island. What right have the Inquisition to take everything? If you're not going to let them take you, you best get yourself some training.
I would like there to have been some timeline of events, because they keep talking about this being their island, but when we know that they usurped it from the governors simply because they thought the governors were corrupt. If that had happened, I mean, it happened in the Don's lifetime, obviously, so it's not, and based on his age, that couldn't have been more than like 30 years ago. So, yeah, I mean, that's still just a, it's more of a revolt. Richard Ridings. I have no idea what other roles he's done.
Are you expecting the Inquisition to attack you?
They're building up their forces, pushing closer every day. It's only a matter of time before they try and overrun us.
What do you mean they're taking everything?
They're everywhere. A group of them even settled not far from the swamp in the southeast. They've been looting the temple ruin that shot out of the ground there. If we could capture that outpost, it would keep them off us for a little longer, give those beasts chance to whittle down their numbers.
Why haven't you captured it? Who is supposed to keep the white robes?
Ah, of course, Fidel.
Brogar and his fighters.
Brogar won't risk himself. Brogar is out to look after himself. He won't risk himself or his men.
I feel like he was not supposed to voice
Who,
all those
in
lines.
your opinion, should lead his fighters?
They were a little bit redundant.
You're a big boy. You lead the attack.
Looks like I'll have to. You want to prove yourself? Come to the edge of the swamp over in the south, and we'll teach the Inquisition a little lesson. If you're not all talk, I'll see you there. You wouldn't want people thinking you were a coward, would you?
So this is a quest that I have always felt kind of weird about. Because you get it before you even confirm any loyalty to the Don. But basically, we're going out and murdering a bunch of Inquisition warriors. And if we join the Inquisition afterwards, like, nothing about it ever comes up. So this quest just kind of happens in a bubble, even though it would seem pretty significant. And we just murder a bunch of people, and it's no big deal. So I always feel weird about doing it. But you kind of have to do it now. You can't do it... I think it expires at the end of Chapter 1, which happens as soon as you join a faction. So if we waited until we joined the Don... if we waited until we joined the Don, then I think the quest is over. It just doesn't happen. We had some early quests where we killed mercenaries and militia. Yeah, I think it was different in one case because the mercenaries... Yeah, I guess you could kill the militiamen on Bengar's farm and then join the militia, which was kind of weird. And then, yeah, I mean, Alvarez and what's-his-nuts. They were just kind of violent assholes. So I never really felt weird about killing them. But yeah, you're right. It is kind of equivalent to that, but it seems like it's happening on a bigger scale. We can get the workers' clothes from him. We have more than enough money. I don't feel like it's worth it, but it might be. I don't remember if there's an alternative way to get that armor. Because armor's kind of weird in this game. This is the only outfit I can think of that you can get just by finding it. No. The militiamen on Bengar's farm cannot be asked to leave or anything. And I think I did it on stream or in the walkthrough. If you start it and then join a faction and then go back, you can finish it by killing the militia, but it never, like, properly completes the quest. So, like, you get the dialogue, and they're like, "Oh, you're with owners, the mercenaries, aren't you?" And they attack you, even though you might be in a mage outfit or militia garb. But then, like, it never ends properly. Like, you get to a point, and then I think it just goes into your failed folder. I don't remember exactly how it played out, but I'm pretty sure I showed it in the walkthrough. Yeah, so here's the big crew. So somehow Fincher got all of Brogar's men. But then again, we did just shame Brogar, so maybe he's been
Look
demoted.
who we have here. Have a sudden attack of bravery, did you? Ready to fight these white robes?
For the Don.
For the dawn. Come on, men. To the temple ruins. Go ahead. We'll follow you.
They're ready to attack. Wait, follow me. I thought you were the leader. Otis, can you stop headbutting my chair? What do you want? Huh. Fincher follows me, but the rest of them don't. Craig does. What are the rest of you idiots doing? Oh, I have to walk near them for them to, like, stand up. You guys coming or what?
Me for a reason.
Oh. This is weird. I guess we have to coordinate them. I don't remember doing this bit. I think I had a habit of skipping this quest. So 3 of them follow me, the rest of them just... Oh, there's another one. I'm so confused. Why are they so inconsistent? Let's get rid of the wolves.
You want to fight?
Oh, you know what? Beg my pardon. I think I did turn the difficulty down when I was testing some things earlier because I didn't feel like struggling. The named guy is involved in an Inquisition quest. That is true. So, yeah, this,
You looking at...
Wait here.
Yeah, so this can blow that quest. That's a good point.
Understood.
Oh, I could just have them go on ahead.
Go back.
All right.
Good luck.
You...
Go. Let...
You can't cancel out of it, but if I keep going, then I think it does just fail the quest and then go back. Oh no, we'll find out. It's part of the science. And I'm going to take a note on that because that is very strange. I'm not sure they really thought that through.
Can you show me the way to Harbour Town?
Sure. Follow me.
This guy doesn't do much besides this. He basically shows you to the bandit camp, and then shows you to this farm, and that's it. So we're gonna do this bit next. Although we did do the wolf cave
See
early.
that farm down in the valley?
I see it.
Some of the Inquisition's minions work down there. Novices, they call them. They're apprentices to the mages in the monastery. Talk to them. They'll help you get to Harbour Town. But watch you don't find yourself accidentally recruited. You get recruited, there'll be no welcome for you at the Don's camp.
Thanks. I can take it from here.
I'm sure you can. Good luck. See you around.
Happy New Year, Matthias. Yeah, we already did picking the wheats for this man.
Don't you have something to do?
I don't think this guy has anything for us.
There's grain growing here.
Do you need any help here?
No thanks. I could have done with you a while ago, though. Thanks anyway.
He says that, but did we actually miss out on a quest?
Welcome, stranger. What's brought you to our troubled isle?
The tide. I'm a shipwreck survivor.
Well, it's a strange kind of luck that's washed you onto these shores. But I must warn you, you cannot wander freely around here. I don't mind, but the warriors of the Order are less forgiving.
Who are you?
My name is Tristan, a novice of magic. I'm looking after this place, on the orders of the Convocation of Mages.
What is this place?
Just a simple farm. It's under the control of the Inquisition now. We cultivate the land and take care of the animals. Our work ensures the well-being of the Order and Inquisitor Mendoza's men.
You know, some people are just a lifetime novice. You know, like people who never graduate college even when they're in their 30s. They keep changing majors or something.
You mentioned the Convocation. What do the mages have to do with the Inquisition?
The Convocation of Mages has long had their seat here in the monastery, at the foot of the great volcano. It was a place of study and faith.
Maybe that's why they shunted him here on the farm, because he wasn't learning anything.
Ruins had risen from the ground, and now the Inquisitor is here seeking to push back that darkness. We're very lucky he found us in our hour of need. Now the monastery not only serves as the mage's home, but also as a training camp for recruits of the Inquisition.
I see. What do you think I should do next?
Well, I wouldn't recommend you wander around alone. Quickest way to the next life. Perhaps you would be best advised to let the warriors of the Order train you as a recruit. Training with the fighting staff and the basics of magic could be just the thing for you. If you're not a fighter, there are merchants in the town might have use of you. Just make sure you don't get taken in by the outlaws that Don commands. Or is it that you are interested in the higher magic that we novices pursue? That would mean finding a way to the monastery without being arrested by the Inquisitor's men. You may find someone in the town who would help you do that. The choice is yours. In any case, you will find members of each group in Harbour Town. They can tell you more. So, if I were you, I would make that my first stop.
I mean, when we look into it, that is pretty much exactly what it is. The mages have been here the whole time, when the Inquisition just kind of showed up. So, like, I think the Inquisition do recognize the Order of the Holy Flame, but they're sort of separate entities, and the Inquisition is sort of more official. Like, the mages are revered and respected, but the Inquisition have, like, government power, basically. So, they can't... We do learn in Risen 2 that basically the Inquisition outlaw all the mages, because the mages don't have authority. They're just well respected and revered. But once the Inquisition are kind of like the powers that be, and they say the mages are working against us, then the mages have no protection anymore. So it's kind of one of those things. They're basically the equivalent of the mages working for Gomez.
Can you take me to Harbour Town?
I can't leave my post at the farm, I'm afraid, but Brother Teller will accompany you there if you wish.
Great. Thanks for the advice.
If you're wanting help, you must be willing to provide help in return.
Do you trade here on the farm?
Trade? With who? Other than Esteban's bandits, there's nobody out here.
What about me? Will you trade with me?
I don't have much to offer, but you're welcome to look.
Let's trade.
We will do that. When I sell a heap of shit. Somehow I got 2 bows. It doesn't seem that difficult to get money. I suppose it was early on. And it kind of depends on how much you're looking for.
Okay. What should I do for you?
Talk to my brothers here on the farm and make yourself
I don't think you
useful.
can.
Once we no longer need your help, we'll happily escort you to Harbour Town.
The Harbour Town.
Tristan says you can take me to Harbour Town.
I can? But did Tristan say I should take you there?
Not exactly.
Well, ask me again when he does.
I don't have a habit. For some reason, like, collecting keys in RPGs has always been kind of guilty pleasure of mine. Even though they do clutter up the inventory after a while.
Hey, how are things going here?
Not so well. Stuck in the middle of nowhere, a place where no one wants to be.
You're the happy-go-lucky, face life with a smile type, aren't you?
And you'd smile if a pack of hungry wolves was eating everything in sight? I used to have 6 pigs, and now
6
look at what's
pigs?
left.
Those wolves are dead.
You killed them? That's a relief. I can finally sleep peacefully again. Here, take this as thanks. I could never have done that alone. I hope you'll find your way, my friend.
I hope so too.
Farewell, and thanks.
He is identical. He is literally the same character model. They didn't have a lot to choose from, so there are going to be some... Like, I'm sure you find plenty in Harbour Town itself that are exactly identical.
About your farm. The wolves in the nearby cave are dead.
It seems fate was
I did
kind
sequence
to me,
break it
watching
because
you
it
to
skipped
these
the whole
shores.
bit of
Take this as a reward.
avoiding the Inquisition guard who comes here. He hasn't shown up because it was supposed to happen on the way back from the wolf cave.
Teller doesn't have anything for me to do. He finished his work a while ago.
Ah yes, Teller is our hardest worker. 24 of him and our problems would be over.
I don't think you have enough work on this farm for 24 people, even if most of them half-ass it.
The grain harvest is finished.
Good. It's reassuring to know that if we must die, we will not die hungry. Here are a few coins. Alas, Thomas is our problem child. If he worked as hard as he moaned, he'd have completed the harvest long ago. Perhaps he should reconsider his desire to be a mage.
I don't think pulling wheat plants is what you typically do as a mage.
I think I've done everything there is to do on your farm.
Then be on your way. And my thanks go with you. Oh, and here. These items can go with you too. And may the holy flame light your way in these dark times. Oh, if you still want to go to Harbour Town, then go and see Brother Teller. He'll show you the way to the northern entrance of town.
Thanks.
Yeah, he definitely had more dialogue, but we just missed it all. Because I didn't know you could do that way. Never occurred to me that nothing stops you, but...
Tristan says you should take me to the rear gate of Harbour Town.
All right. But it's a long, dangerous journey. This island is far from safe, you know. So be prepared.
Yeah, the Holy Flame is the only religion that is ever mentioned in Risen.
I'm ready. Let's go to Harbour Town.
Stay behind me, all right?
No, I'm not really clear on... They never really discussed the old gods that were banished. So, that's always been ambiguous.
The island is full of dangers. Even this lake down here. Let's move.
Let's move on. Well, that one just stopped. It's called the tonsure. It's very proper if you're a monk. Although, his isn't really that good.
This is it. That way leads to the main gate of Harbour Town. I suggest you don't go down there, though. That will take you to the Warriors of the Order. You want to go to the Monastery to join the Order? Go that way. You don't want that? Don't go there, because they won't give you a choice.
Thanks. I think I get the point. Let's go on.
All right, we're moving.
Oh yeah, those are hard to miss because they're all in the main dungeon that we do later. I just don't remember them because it's been years.
If you follow this path up, you'll end up at the Monastery. But the sign will tell you that, right?
That's what signs are for.
Need me to guide you further?
Yes, go on.
Come on then.
Follow Teller one more time. So I think you have to do all these follows in order to get all the XP out of it. Otherwise, you're just not doing the quests. Otis, can you settle down?
You'll have to make your own way to the rear entrance of the town, but it isn't much farther. From here, keep heading south through the narrow corridor. Keep going until you reach a high cliff, then follow that. It will take you straight to the town gate.
And I can just walk in?
One of the town guards will probably be outside the gate, but I'm sure you can find a way to convince the sentry to let you pass.
Convince them? How do I do that?
If you have enough gold on you, I'm sure that will help persuade him. That's how the old guards seem to work. Corruption is everywhere.
I see.
Now I need to get back to my grain field. Good luck.
Now, considering those guards presumably worked for Esteban at some point, he bemoaned the corruption of the city. Kind of funny that they use that corruption to their advantage. Damn. Just one shot. Also, for the record, if you're struggling with the cave moths in the cave where you find the body with a list of protection money on it, it's pretty easy to avoid them. I was testing it earlier. I just walked around them. What? That's the ruin with the war cricket. I just wanted to see. One thing I never tested. Obviously, these guys will attack you if you get near them. Maybe not the novices, but the Inquisition guy will.
Think you can get away with that?
Oh, never mind. They all will.
Well, I wouldn't go up against them.
I didn't think the novices would.
Screw you, then.
Screw you, then. So presumably the guy at the monastery gate will also attack you on sight. It's amusing to me that they're all so immediately hostile. Oh boy. Ow. They're all so immediately hostile. But then at some point later they just stop attacking on sight. It's not really for any specific reason other than you're allowed by the game code to wander around freely. True, he was a warrior recruit. The only way you tell the difference is that the warrior recruits have a red shirt under their robe. Yeah, exactly. The mages have the darker shirt. Ow. Getting reckless.
Yeah.
Bonk. Okay, well, he's a recruit, so he probably will attack on sight.
Hey, wait.
Oh, no. Interesting.
You came up the mountain, right? So, what business do you have out here? I don't recognize you.
What's my business to you?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. But if Santiago spots you, you'll be in trouble.
Who's Santiago?
He's with the Inquisition. You don't want to mess with them. He'd have you recruited to the monastery quick as look at you.
What happens in the monastery?
First, they shove a big stick in your hand. Then, they make you
Well,
sweep
I could
the
think of much
courtyard
worse
or
places
stand
they could
guard
shove
like
it.
me. Not even a beer to keep you going. I'd do anything for a beer. Anything remotely fun is kept in a wine cellar, and that's always locked.
Here, have a swig of this.
Beer? You've got beer?
Big swig.
Man alive, that's good stuff. That's like water to a dying man, that is.
I don't know how it's still so foamy when it's just been in a mug in my pocket.
It doesn't sound that bad.
Well, if you like the sound of it, go and see Santiago and join up.
Pardon.
What are you doing out here?
Watching the road for creatures, and probably providing a free meal for any hungry beasties that come wandering by.
Why don't you just run for it?
Once you've listened to those noises in the shadows, you'll be glad of a secure place to sleep. It's no fun in there, but it's no fun out here either. Even if I did make it back to Harbour Town, the Inquisition would just bring me right back here again. Not many places to hide on an island. I don't really have a lot of options.
Yeah, well, whose has it worse? This guy who's about to get eaten by gnomes? Or Babo, who has to sweep the floors? Although, Babo was screwed over by the other novices, because he had contraband. Well, so hello, Nameless Heroine. I wasn't sure I'd see you again after the Arcolo streams ended.
What creatures?
Well, all manner of things came out of the ground with those ruins. Think of your worst nightmare, then double it. That's them.
I don't see any creatures.
Oh, they're smart. Smart and vicious.
No, Beppo already has two brothers.
Shuffling around in the shadows, waiting. I just hope those beasts stay in the shadows.
So, interesting. I didn't think we would have this quest right now. So that guy is a regular Inquisition soldier, and he will probably bonk us on sight.
Well, who do we have here? I don't
Guess not.
recognize you. Looks to me like you're a vagrant. And vagrancy, that's illegal. If you can't give me a good reason why you're here, you will be recruited.
Sounds like the opening to Rambo.
I volunteered. I'm already enrolled at the monastery.
Is that so? Well, we'll ask Master Palace about that. I'll take you straight to him.
Okay, so that does just deliver us straight inside. Yeah, their spears are too short. So this whole bit here, I'll demonstrate it after this. I just want to see. The alternative option probably results in him attacking. And I noticed these Inquisition guys seem to knock you down in one hit, but maybe that's only if you're base level.
Well, and if you can't give me...
Recruited? For what?
By order of the Inquisitor, all men and women are to gather in the town and remain there. Anyone caught outside the walls of the town is to be locked up immediately. And all prisoners are to be trained as recruits for service in the name of the Inquisition.
I'm here on the Don's business.
I know the Don's men. Everyone does. And you're not one of them.
I haven't been here long.
Which makes you a vagrant. And vagrancy is illegal.
Couldn't I pay a fine? Some gold to be paid to the guard?
A guard of the Inquisition cannot be bribed.
Of course not.
Cannot be bribed.
All right, calm down.
So, if you get into this dialogue, you don't even have the option to resist. That's interesting.
Very well then. Take me to your leader.
That's Master Palace to you.
Okay. You don't want to know what happens, Val.
Another recruit. The guards brought you here because you transgressed the law. Am I correct?
Nope. I volunteered.
I see. Then you must have something to show me.
I'm volunteering right now, aren't I?
In that case, it can't be taken into consideration.
So I'm a criminal. What happens to me now?
By order of the Inquisitor, all criminals are to be conscripted into the Order as warriors. You will complete basic training using the staff. Then you shall learn combat magic. If you are talented at magic, we will teach you powerful combat spells. This will give you a path away from crime. You will gain your rewards through diligence and hard work. Now go. Caleb will robe you and explain further what will happen.
So that's that. All quests just failed because of that. I want to test Vanna. Where do we survive escape from here? You said towards the camp. Got arrested and now I can't become a mage. Well, that sucks. I guess you just did it wrong. The thing is, if you show up here with the letter of recommendation from the guy in the city, then it should be possible, even if you get arrested, unless that gets confiscated for some reason. Okay, okay. What do we do with the slippy slides? Actually, that just looks survivable right there. Maybe that's too long of a jump. Ah! I slipped. I will be right back. Where am I? Which quests got canceled? The stupid quest log doesn't show ones that got canceled. Yeah. So we don't get to review those. That could possibly be a slide. It doesn't look very slidey. It looks very sheer. Yeah.
This crystal is radiating some sort of a strange force.
So let's just try and stop you using a levitation scroll to get out of here. It's just that crystal jutting out. That doesn't get you far enough. Oh, I made it. See you, bitches. Be careful, they will throw stuff. Ah! What do you have to say to me now, fool?
Hey, where do you think you're going? Shouldn't you be in the monastery?
I just wanted to stretch my legs.
You'd better watch I don't break your legs. Get back inside.
Kick. Well, they did account for you getting out. Like, when you're not supposed to. What is, can you relax? Oh, somebody didn't notice this door led right out here. Says I'm a recruit, so yeah. Guild has already changed. So that's that, yeah. There is no... Even though you can get out, there's no progress until you do everything in here, because you've already been recruited. So we shan't do that. I don't think there's any difference at that point to, the progress inside the monastery, had we come here with a recommendation or not. The recommendation only entitles us the opportunity to become a mage instead. Oh, you hush, Sonic. Ow. I'm too slow. We'll do his little Nomi quest another time. I think there's like a weapon over here or something, but I don't know if it's worth a dang.
A grave. Rest in peace.
Woof! Ow! Oh, it's just a stupid shield. And a rusty sword. It's worse than what I... Hello. I'll leave you be. I am close to dying. Here's the somewhat tedious part, where we kind of just go straight to the city and don't do much else. There are non-order recruits here, right? Yeah. Those guys are not recruits. Do they also attack on sight? No, they don't.
Hello there. I'll stop your looting.
So it's just the nameless ones.
Where do you think you're going?
Away from you, dork-ass. Oh my god, rock. Ha! Now you gotta deal with the mouths.
That's all you're good for.
Yeah. Every time the moth hits him, he starts chasing me again.
That's all you're good for, running.
He's very enthusiastic. I remember over there is one of them big old tortoises. Which are always one of the weirder enemies in the game. What are they equivalent to in Gothic? If we head this way, I think eventually we find the shack in the woods. Oh, I never learned skinning animals. I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. Happy New Year, Theo. Yeah, but they're not really trolly. They don't punch. They can just hide in their shell, and no enemy really does that. There's a cave there? I don't remember that cave. Golems. Yeah, I guess we don't have a golem equivalent, do we? ghoul. Ghouls suck. They have like the most aggressive attack AI and that unblockable Frosty Blast. Bonk. Bonk. Yeah, I think that's about all we can equate them to. Can I just say what a weird looking gate this is? It's just like a weird grate over that, and there's no visible mechanism for lifting it. Usually there would basically be like a narrow, like, cavity in the wall for that to lift into, and instead it's just on the outside. Which means it's exposed to elements, and all the moving parts would get rusty. Probably busted. Rusted and busted.
Looks good.
Yeah, I mean, considering that they have other parts of the game you can winch open, but I guess it's just because they can't have you come and go at this point in the game. Once you get inside, you have to stay inside, and they just never bothered to actually have it open at any point. For some reason, finding corpses out in the wild was a strange thing to me, because none of the Gothic games had corpses you just find out in the open. Like, if you found corpses, they were usually just skeletons, and they just had loot next to them.
Now, who could teach?
It just seems a little bit jarring finding them like this. Anywho, we just talked to this feller, and at that point we're locked in. You can escape the town. I think we'll run a test. I know you can get out of the town pretty easily.
Hey, you. Don't you know it's forbidden to run around outside the town?
Did it? But like nameless ones? Like they were mostly corpses of like quest characters. Oh yeah, you're right. All the workers. The ones going from because they're the ones. Yeah, that's true. All right, I'm just talking about my buttocks.
Are you part?
That's right. I'm guarding the gate so no one can leave.
Shouldn't you stand inside then?
I guess that just it felt like a weird emphasis on how dangerous the pally was.
I'm sure we can come to it. Or would you rather go?
I guess they're trying to emphasize how dangerous the island has become. They're showing bodies of people who tried to get out of the city.
How much to let me in?
100 gold coins, but you can't come and go as you like. Once you're in, you're in.
You're asking for a lot of gold.
Be glad I don't take twice as much to save you from the monastery. But I'm not an arsehole. I'm willing to haggle. If you don't have enough gold, you can trade things instead.
Interesting. I don't remember that, but yeah, it just becomes a merchant in case you didn't come here with enough gold. But had some things to sell. Guess that's a nice little caveat for you or whatever. Whatever, let's go inside.
You're in. Don't you want to know what's waiting for you in there?
What are things like in the town?
Used to be good, but since Don Esteban left, Inquisition's in charge now. Brought the farmers into town, then sealed the gates. That's the Inquisitor's new law. And Commandant Carlos has everyone who violates the law taken to the monastery.
What can you tell me about Commandant Carlos?
He's the new boss. He and his warriors of the order
same as the old boss.
Law and order.
They try.
Well, the Don's men don't let them have it all their own way, right? Things are quiet now, but that could change any time.
Tell me about Don Esteban.
Great man, great man. Most people probably think he ran away from the Inquisition, but that's not true.
No?
No. He set up camp in the swamp to take gold out of the ruins himself. That's what this is all about. gold. He left a couple of his men here to carry on his business while he gets his share.
What's going on in the monastery?
They say they do training, but everyone knows they enchant people up there.
Enchant?
They make 'em magic.
A couple of the boys they took are back in town. Before, they didn't take the law seriously. Now they blindly follow the Inquisitor. If that's not enchantment, you explain it.
Maybe they just saw the light.
Maybe they changed their
Oh,
minds.
can you not?
You might be able to
Battering
change
ram my
my
microphone.
mind with a couple of gold coins, but what the Inquisitor did with them... I'm telling you, he used magic on them.
So the town has divided loyalties?
You live here, you've got to choose. Stay loyal to the Don, to our people, or help the swanky bastards from the mainland.
So
Of course,
swanky.
You can just keep your head down, try and keep out of trouble.
Trouble finds people.
If you say so. I just follow orders, mate. But trust me, you don't want to side with the Order. You want to help the Don.
And you work for the Don?
Me? No. I'm part of the town guard. And all citizens must do what Commandant Carlos says.
And you don't like that?
You can't cut deals with the warriors of the Order. The Don's men were always open to a good deal.
You mean you could buy them off?
Call it what you want. A deal is a deal. And everyone was happy.
Here's your gold.
All right. But not a word to anyone about our little deal. Otherwise, we'll both wind up in the monastery.
Are you going to let me in?
Well, you want to go in uninformed, that's up to you. But here, at least take a town map. Good luck. You'll need it.
How generous. They do set up pretty hard that most of the population here do not respect the Inquisition and found life pleasant under the dong. So we're here now. I think I'm gonna wrap it up soon because all my animals are going berserk. But the one thing I want to test is what it looks like when we actually get out of the city. It's not actually that hard to escape. Obviously, we can't swim because this game be how it is. It is funny to me that all the Risen games had so much more of a an aquatic theme. But it took until Risen 3 for them to make swimming a possibility again. Alright, that's the big show. I do find its layout less what's the word? The layout is less like user-friendly. Like figuring out your way around Corinus was very easy, other than like some of the back alleys of the harbor. Intuitive, that's the word. Thank you. And this one not so much, because there's kind of like a one winding road and just some like bigger areas with a bunch of houses. Because like you know where all the craftsmen are in you know, the first entry area. You know where the upper quarter is. You know where Vatras and his square is. You know where all the traveling traders are. And you know how to get to the harbor. And the harbor generally doesn't have a whole lot to give you. Anyway, so this is the way out of the city. Pretty easy. As long as you have enough health to survive a slight drop. You can probably find a place to slide a bit. There we go. Not even a scratch. But then, all these fellas are out here, and they'll attack you on sight.
Hey, what are you doing here? You are one of us?
So you gotta depart.
Halt!
I shan't.
I'm not running anymore.
Yeah, you just can't get anyone willing to put the steps in these days. So anyway, that's that. We're back out of the city. Doesn't mean much, but I just want to know what happens if we go back around and need to get back in. I don't think there's a way to break into the city unless someone knows something I don't. I'm not aware of a Gothic 2 style way to break in. Statue legs? I have no idea, but it always brought to mind the Colossus of Rhodes. I don't know. Is it big enough to have held that? I guess it is. Yeah. Must have been like some artistic inspiration they had. And they just never really implemented it into the lore. I do appreciate the soundtrack. Some of the themes are repetitive, and the dungeon soundtrack's not so, you know, consistently good. But I do find the island theme and the Harbor Town theme very enjoyable. Whoops. Banished gods or maybe Ursagor? I don't know. I don't think it would be Ursagor. Ursagor's visuals are very heavily armored. That looks more like a... He was dressed up as a Grecian warrior with, like, the weird sandals and everything. Titan Lord's shield. Yeah. Does it look the same as that? I don't remember what it looks like. I don't know. We'll find out. Yep, you just have to pay again. Okay, so getting out of town, not very good for you. Maybe we'll look around a little bit more. I want to see if there is, in fact, a way to break in. Well, getting out ain't difficult, but it didn't seem like there was a way to climb back in. We can try it. Snooping around by the front gate is not that convenient because of all the dudes out there that attack on sight. Also, this game and Gothic 3, a shadow is cast by the torch, but obviously it just looks weird because there's no shadow of the flame, of course. That wouldn't make sense. But in reality, if the torch is the one giving off the light, it wouldn't cast a shadow because the light would be all around it. Ergo, there's no place for a shadow to be. So it doesn't make sense that the torch shows up in the shadow. But it also wouldn't make sense for your empty hand to just be there. I don't know. It's just weird. Levitation to fly around the city wall. Howdy, sir. I like how you're not at all concerned that I'm trying to escape. Because the levitation spell doesn't give you a whole lot of lift. And I'm also not sure where you find one. It definitely wouldn't get you up here. So it'd have to be close to this wall. Around the tower? Well, how do you get up the tower? There's no way to climb it from the outside. Oh, you get around that way. I'm not sure it'll get you that far. I also don't know if you try and levitate over the water, if you just get worm snatched. Let's think. If you could levitate anywhere, it'd be here. But you might also just be able to climb this. No, I actually think that's a bit too high to climb. Nothing grab. So never mind. That's your way out. You don't have a way back in. Let's see if I can dig up a levitation spell in town and then test it. But obviously, still begs the question, if you can get one outside of town, where? And will it get you in? But one test at a time. Uh-oh. I'm not sure who would sell such a scroll. This guy is a sort of general trader.
If you hear.
Not concerned with dialogues for now. This guy's just a grocer. Perhaps the alchemist. I also love this guy hoeing this patch of grass here. I feel like he's been given that task just because his master doesn't want anything to do with him.
Do you sell?
Quality, except I out if that can't come. You what? But I'm here.
What?
I can't. And
I'm in 10. I'll see. Good.
Wait, you don't deal with me until I do this for you? Oh, there we go. Okay, so no magic. I get the feeling nobody here has such a scroll. Seems like the kind of thing they mostly want you to use in puzzles in the dungeons later on. So the game, I don't recall being that generous with the levitation scrolls.
I heard they'd all died. That was
There's a couple sort of general traders. Maybe have something special? Oh, what happens? I assume the door is locked, but what if you tried to take the secret exit from the city where Skordo hangs out?
Weapon, June.
And he just has those. And he sells his armor. The only difference over mine is that his has arrow protection. What is that chest just sitting on top of that for? Can I open it? Probably not.
Mate, are you? I here.
Big sip. I don't think he's not a merchant, is he? This guy is.
Well,
hello.
I can't.
What are you
hunting? I pay for good. So we.
He's just got hunting stuff. Secret chest under the stairs to the hostel. What's the hostel? Is that this guy's place? Isn't his secret quest for or his secret chest for a quest? Yeah, nothing I need. Again, we're going through all this properly next time, but just trying to figure out if there are illegitimate means to get in. I mean, we bribed a guard to get in, so it's already illegitimate, but illegitimate as in ways the game perhaps did not intend. Pardon. I don't see any sign of a levitation spell. I don't know if there's like a walkthrough online that says where you can find such things. I guess Cormac supposedly has one.
The world is in turmoil. Everything we heard when the ships were
Oh, I'm not going to be able to... I would have to go all the way back there to get it. Let's just start from here. I might lose progress. Because I don't think I saved when I entered the city. Oh well. I kept that autosave, but that might get overridden. Let me just reload that, save it, and then go back to science. The training, T12, is for an eventual walkthrough I want to do later this year. So I'm refamiliarizing myself with the game and kind of checking all the nooks and crannies for things that I'm not that familiar with. Oh, shit. I think this is after I already paid twice. Oh well. Oops. Yeah, we can get in.
Go fuck yourself.
You know what? Here's a question. Does this make him less cranky?
I feel so bored.
Probably doesn't, because that's more of a scripted thing. I'll test his disposition later.
Guarding. More. Real. Shall I? Yeah.
You might want.
No hunters are going out.
Okay, we are forced.
A cut? You?
When all but...
Cast.
I...
Not pride point. Some... But...
I'd like...
The... Men. So... What? This month? So...
To the...
Right, but if...
What was...
Correct. When... And the Inquisitor...
What do you...
For that, there was...
How?
Fine, I am. Go.
What can I... What?
Oh, he does not have levitate. Son of a bitch. Alright, so I don't think you can get one. I feel like they have deliberately limited how many you can get in the game without making a rune. I don't know. Let's Google some more. We're testing possible alternative ways to get into the city without paying. And the theory now is that we might be able to sneak in with a levitate scroll. Seems like the only ones who will sell it are mages in the monastery. Yeah, but it's fun. Levitation sold by Illumar, by Cormac in Chapter 2, and by Ash in Chapter 3. Yeah, so no mages have it that are accessible. So I don't think that's an option, unfortunately. So I maybe there's loot somewhere in a cave, but I feel like they're all in the dungeons because they're meant to be there for when you encounter a puzzle that requires it. You can jump over a wall on the other side of town. I know you can jump out. The walls look too tall to jump over, though. Let's go back. I'm curious, T12. Let's see what you got. Involves a tree. I didn't see a tree, but let's look.
Well, at least we're still here.
That tree? Somehow I doubt it. Well, no, maybe that tree somehow gets you under this rock. Doesn't look like it. It's very sheer. Climb on the warehouse in the harbor and jump on the mountainside and walk away. Well, the problem is that's from inside. I'm trying to find a way to get in from out. Ow. Oh. Oh ho. Pardon me, fools.
Dirty looter.
How dare you? I need the rats out of my way. Charge my attacks. I don't have charge attacks yet.
This isn't over.
Ow. Oh, wow. That man's following me. Heave ho. Oh. That didn't quite work.
I haven't forgotten about you.
Why does it tell me to charge my attacks? I don't have that ability yet.
Stop right there!
I shall do no such thing. Ah, E. You get out of my face.
Stop right there!
I need this man to stop following me.
Stop!
No.
Stop!
No. I can see the possibility. Not sure why I'm picking those up. Don't need them. Gaboingus. Nope, went straight through it. You have to obviously have to find the right height to where the tree suddenly has collision. Nope. This is gonna be annoying. Especially because this quick load ain't so quick. Oh? I don't think that's very promising. Yeah, the collision on that's very strange. So unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's a legitimate way of getting into the city without paying or dealing with the guards, unlike Gothic 2. Because this, even if you pull it off, clearly is not the intended method. Give it a couple more tries, but... Damn. I think that might have been the max height I could get. Well, yeah, they can't have Larry's ask if you swam there, because you can't swim in this game. God, jumping is just too weird. Alright, screw it. It is not legit, so, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm a little weary. So, how this is gonna work going forward is that the Risen streams will be streamed to both YouTube and Twitch, and they'll basically happen anytime during the week. We have like an hour or two. Because this is meant to be like an ongoing thing, and I want to kind of keep the game and everything I learn about it fresh in my mind. But the weekend streams that will henceforth be starting at 9 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday will be Twitch only, and they will just be games I personally want to do. So, like I said, this is all of this. Oh, good morning, Blake. Sorry. Happy New Year. You caught me right as I was wrapping up. Yeah, going forward, I Am Supreme, we cannot find a levitate scroll, or I can't tell if there's one that you can get anywhere in the game world that's not like in a dungeon or something. Settle down, Otis. So yeah. The idea of this, all this streaming this game is that eventually I'm going to do a walkthrough for it. So that is just how it is. So yeah, you can see these in the middle of the week. There may even be occasions where I do 2 streams on like a Saturday. Or I will stream what I want to do, and then a couple hours later, maybe stream an hour or 2 of this. I don't know, we'll see. This is going to be whenever I feel like it, I will fire this game up and stream it. And then the scheduled streams on Saturday and Sunday will be games that I want to do. So till then, maybe you'll catch me streaming this a couple days this week. Or otherwise, you'll see me on Saturday at this time playing something else. Till then, Happy New Year. Hope you're all safe and healthy. Have yourselves a wonderful week, and goodbye.